Hello students. We are going to talk about a very important thing today, that is Geography and Environment course for UPSC Prelims 2025. Um, Before even actually talking about the course, let's talk about these subjects, how crucial these subjects are. Nowadays, predicting the paper of UPSC Prelims uh, is, it's something which you cannot do. So there is no point of predicting the what kind of questions are going to come from whether it will be a factual paper or analytical paper, how the questions will be asked. So what we can do is actually we can prepare 360-degree, we can prepare all the topics and focus mainly on those topics where UPSC has focused in the previous years. In last 2 decades, last 20 prelims, UPSC has asked the questions from topics and the trend which they have followed. So the point is we don't have to skip anything. Point number one, we don't have to skip anything. Point number two, for example, if you are revising, there are 3 topics A, B, C. We have to study all 3 of them because all 3 are part of our syllabus. But for example, the trend, the last 20 years trend says that UPSC focuses on topic A more. So we are going to revise all 3 of them, for example, 2 times. But topic A, we are going to revise 4 to 5 times. And we are going to go in depth in topic A. This is how we are going to approach. Now, let's talk about these subjects. If I just talk about geography, if you are smart enough, and you must have noticed this trend that in last 5 to 6 years, the UPSC has shifted focus and focusing more on geography as a subject. And you can see the trend in like 2020 it was 10 questions only, 21 it was 10 questions. In 2022 the questions jumped to 16 questions, 32 marks. Again 23, 16 questions, and you will be surprised to know that in 2024, 20 questions, 40 marks. 20 questions came from geography, and the questions were not some rocket science, something which is out of the box, were basic NCERT based questions. In some questions, UPSC has actually copy pasted the statements. 40 marks, 20% of your UPSC prelims paper came from geography. 1/5 of the paper came from geography. A large percentage. We are coming to the next one. Let's talk about environment. In environment, in 2020, 10 questions came, 2021, 17 questions, 2022, 14, 2023, again 14 questions, and in 2024, around 12 to 13 questions. Now, in 2024, around 12 to 13 questions came from environment. If you add geography and environment, my friends, if you add geography and environment, 20 questions and 10 questions, the total is 30 questions. It will go 30 plus. It is not going to reduce. It is not going to be less than 30. Definitely, it would be more than 30 questions, isn't it? The composition can change. It can become 15. It can become 15. 5 marks here and 5 questions here and there can happen. But 30% of your UPSC prelims paper is going to come from these 2 subjects. Now, some people ask that these topics, these subjects are very dynamic and concept based. True. It is very much true. These are very dynamic and very concept based. But the good thing is that once you conquer the topic, you will not mark the question wrong, and you can actually answer all the questions of geography. In this particular course, the factual part, that is whether it is world mapping, important latitudes, important longitudes, then each continent mapping in detail we have covered with the help of tricks. Because the biggest complaint I get in geography and environment, that a lot of facts you need to remember. For example, 104 national parks, 18 biosphere reserves, 80 plus Ramsar sites, important wildlife sanctuaries, sacred groves, all these things. So what we are going to do is, we have to make these things very easy. So in this course, what we have done is, we have laid a proper foundation of geography, covering the space part also, basics of space, basics about our solar system, origin of universe, life cycle of a star, how star starts from nebula, gaseous cloud of nebula, ends as a black hole. We have covered it in a comprehensive way in this particular course. Coming to the geographical concepts, the concepts of geomorphology, climatology, oceanography, Indian geography are covered in detail with prelims specific topics. A topic, my friend, for example, tropical cyclone can be studied from prelims point of view also, can be studied from mains point of view also. In mains point of view, you need some other factors, multiple dimensions. In prelims point of view, you need concepts, you need to, the approach you have to apply in prelims is different from the approach in mains. So that is very important, my friends. All these topics in detail. Now, if you analyze this 30% of your prelims paper is going to come from these two subjects, which are interrelated to each other, which can be compared. For example, the natural vegetation in the environment section, and what kind of flora and fauna is found in different climatic zones. Those climates you can understand with the help of fundamental and core geography, and you can apply that knowledge in the environment and ecology. These are complementary subjects which are going to help you to analyze, understand the statements which are given by UPSC, like how climate change is going to impact the vegetation, how climate change is going to impact the flora and fauna, what is desertification, what kind of vegetation is found in deserts, what is desert type of climate. The desert climate is there studied in geography, and what is the desert vegetation and flora and fauna of deserts are studied in environment. What is Himalayan mountain climate, which is studied in geography, and mountain vegetation and flora and fauna is studied in environment and ecology. It is very important. They are both complementary. Now, if you apply cost benefit, if we do cost benefit analysis, तो यहाँ पे in this particular these two areas, if you put in more time, if you give more time, you are going to get even better results. Okay, we have subjects like history. In history, we have a lot of facts and information in ancient, then comes medieval, then comes modern, then comes art and culture. Huge bulk of subjects, and the total number of questions asked varies from 13 to 17. So cost benefit analysis says that if you put equal amount of time, the time which we give to history, if we give to subjects like geography and environment and ecology, the benefit is higher. So do not worry about giving more time to geography and environment, my friends, because the benefits will be much better. That's why the cost benefit analysis says that we need to allot more time to these subjects, because the outcomes are predictable. The outcomes will be in our control. In other subjects which are very ambiguous, we cannot predict. Even if you study entire syllabus, even if you study entire facts, there are chances that questions which you are not aware of, the topic which you have not heard in your life, those books those places might be asked. But in this case, the concepts, if you cover comprehensively, there are 90% plus chances that you are going to face the topic which you have studied. You will be able to eliminate around 2 options in the prelims, and that is a good elimination. You will be able to reach to 50%, and that is very much important, my friends. In this course, I actually analyzed last 20 years question papers and I focused on those topics which are very important for prelims, and I approached the topics from prelims point of view. Okay, and that is why the tagline of this is, you give 25 hours to this subject, not much for prelims. We have time, a lot of time. With right discipline, you can approach these subjects. 25 plus hours, 25 plus questions. I am saying 30 plus questions. Directly, indirectly, you are going to get from these topics, these 2 topics. And if you allot some time, some good quality time, and you do at least 1 to 2 revisions, you will definitely going to, get better results in UPSC Prelims. Friends, in prelims, we have seen that people who have appeared in interview, people who got the rank also fail in prelims. So it is very important to analyze the paper in detail. So what I want you to do is analyze previous year questions in detail, allot your precious time according to the past 15 to 20 years trend. Focus more on statistical knowledge. Around 65 to 70 questions. I am telling you, 65 to 70 questions. And I am not just giving a number on the basis of what I personally think. You can go and check last 10 years paper. Mark which question is statistical, which has current component. I am telling you from static books which everyone knows, 70 questions can be answered with that statistical knowledge. And this knowledge will be applied in current affairs also. So study with this kind of approach. Geography and environment are those subjects, if you allot them time and you put in your energy and give your precious time, you will get better results because the topics can be predicted. Tropical cyclone, types of climate, temperate cyclone, weathering, Coriolis force, isn't it? What kind of minerals are found in what kind of areas? In India, the drainage pattern, if you study the drainage pattern in detail, you will definitely get confidence in answering those questions. Any question which comes on drainage pattern, you will be able to answer. For example, in 2024, the question was very basic. Arrange the tributaries from east to west, the Ganga tributaries. In 2023, the questions were on tropical evergreen forest, the soils of tropical evergreen forest, the properties were asked. The questions are very easy, but the point is conceptual part. If the conceptual part is over, you will be able to solve the questions easily in geography. You will be able to eliminate the options, and that is the most important thing in prelims, that you identify the wrong statement. If you identify the wrong statement, if you are sure that so and so statement is wrong, you are halfway there. Okay. Now what we are going to focus in this particular course of UPSC Prelims 2025. Mapping, very important. You cannot separate geography from mapping. The UPSC is also, for example, in 2024, they asked questions about the cocoa production, where the cocoa production is which geographical area is famous for cocoa production. In 2023, they asked a question about that the Congo River, and what they gave you the name of the countries, and they asked you that which of the following lies in the basin of Congo River, Zaire River of Africa, and there were 4 options. So if you have basic understanding of all the continents, their locations, all the rivers of the world, all the mountains of the world, all the deserts of the world, all major lakes of the world, all type of grasslands of the world, all major straits and isthmus of the world. Trust me, you will be able to. And along with that, types of climate also. What are different types of climate? For example, in 2024, marine west coast climate was asked. But the point to be noted that the 4 options mentioned equatorial climate also, monsoon type of climate also. So that means now we can take the hint from that UPSC might ask question on monsoon type of climate. UPSC might ask question on equatorial type of climate, isn't it? So this is how you approach your UPSC prelims, my friends. This is how we get the hint. So mapping, the thing which you can assure from this course is that your mapping, the world mapping as well as India mapping, as well as the environment mapping will be done. I made sure that around 120 plus countries, 120 plus countries with their location, with their important latitude, with their important position, based on UPSC prelims and state PCS prelims questions, you will be able to remember these names and location after covering a 3-hour class. You will be able to remember with the help of interesting tricks. This course has that interesting tricks part where the tricks will help you to remember the location of 120 countries, all the major the national parks and which state they are associated with, and the rivers and the major lakes of the world. Tricks based and the areas UPSC is focusing. Another important thing for mapping, the areas which are in news, for example, areas around Black Sea, area around Red Sea, area around the Levant region of Mediterranean Sea, and area the mapping of Israel is covered in this course in detail. So you won't be able to mark, you won't be you don't have to worry about the mapping part at all. You will be able to solve almost all the questions coming from mapping, world mapping, India mapping after completing this course. I assure you that. Interactive learning, innovative ways. I tried to make the space part, the geomorphology part, the climatology part, the oceanography part as interesting and as realistic as possible. I used my own hands to draw the maps of Himalayas and their location of highest peaks with the help of my own hand, so that you can also practice the same in your copy, in your notes, in your maps. And if, for example, UPSC is asking the questions, sequence of major peaks, isn't it, from east to west of Himalayas, sequence of major rivers, we can answer those also. I made sure. Ecological insights, simplified explanations of ecosystems and their dynamics. What I have focused in this is the fundamental, the core concepts of environment and ecology. For example, eutrophication, algal bloom, ocean acidification, coral reefs, mangrove ecosystem, coral reef ecosystem, wetland ecosystem. These are core concepts. How wetlands are acting as kidneys of the world, how rainforests are acting as, Amazon forests are acting as the lungs of the world, isn't it? What are ecotones? What is an ecological niche? What is edge effect? All these are core concepts, isn't it? What is biorock technology? What is it used for? Isn't it? What is Miyawaki method? What is it used for? The core concepts. What is ecology? What is ecosystem? What are pyramids? Isn't it? What is biodiversity? What is alpha biodiversity, beta biodiversity, gamma biodiversity? Difference between the species biodiversity and then genetic biodiversity and ecosystem biodiversity. These are the core concepts of ecology. If you understand them, what is primary productivity? Isn't it? What is primary productivity of an ecosystem? These are the core concepts which are given in NCERT. What is biological oxygen demand? how it is going to impact the life of the ecosystem. These are the core concepts. अगर हम इनको कॉन्कर कर लेते हैं तो जो फैक्चुअल पार्ट है ना दोस्तों, वो बहुत आसान हो जाता है समझना, isn't it? So I focused on covering the core, the static part, the core part of the ecology in detail. What is symbiotic relationship? What is amensalism? What is commensalism? What is the difference between predation and parasitism? These core concepts अगर हम ये समझ जाते हैं तो हमारे लिए बाकी सब, जैसे vegetation, what all factors are impacting the vegetation of India? Where can we find the evergreen vegetation? Why only those areas has evergreen vegetation? तो जैसा वहां पे vegetation है वैसा वही टाइप के वहां पे fauna, animals भी वही मिलेंगे. For example, in the cold desert biosphere reserve या फिर नंदा देवी नेशनल पार्क, वहां पे आपको एशियन एलिफेंट तो नहीं मिलेगा, है ना? एलिफेंट वहां पे कैसे जाएगा? सो प्लेन्स पे मिलेगा. सो इफ यू अंडरस्टैंड द टॉपोग्राफी, it is very easy for us to associate the animals around them also. So the core, the topography part, the vegetation part, they cover the flora and fauna, isn't it? So static part is very important, and this static part is going to help you to solve the questions which are based on current affairs also. Along with that, in environment and ecology, the important part is laws, Indian laws. The Wildlife Protection Act 1972, the Environmental Protection Act 1986, the Water Act, the Air Act, the National Green Tribunal Act, isn't it? The Forest Act 1927, the Forest Conservation Act of 1980, the Forest Rights Act of 2006. These are those important acts which are very important, and UPSC is constantly focusing on these. For example, National Board of Wildlife, the State Board of Wildlife, isn't it? NTCA, the tiger census, how they are impacting, isn't it? UPSC is constantly focusing on these topics. So that's why we need to cover these topics in detail. So I focused on the topics from the prelims point of view. If we focus like this, then we will be able to solve. And this kind of wisdom you can also have by analyzing the previous year questions and the language UPSC is using. The same language and the same approach if we apply for the UPSC Prelims preparation also. For example, we miss by 0.5 marks, but our preparation will be on the right path. By and large, we will be on the right path, and being on the right path is very important, my friends. Energy, if we put an extra energy and if we are on the right path, we will be able to, then rest is some percentage of luck is also there. Nobody can deny a percentage of luck, but I make sure that what is the most important beside luck is if you channelize your energy in the right direction, that is more important. Core highlights. Why to select this course? You can select any other coaching course also, no problem. But what I'm going to give you over here is that it is 35%, it is going to cover 35% of UPSC syllabus, and the approach is prelims. Approach is prelims by analyzing at least 20 years of previous year questions. What is UPSC is asking? And I'm not claiming that it is going to solve 100%. आपके 100% सवाल यहाँ से solve हो जाएंगे, जी नहीं. But आपकी 100% approach जरूर बन जाएगी. सवाल को कैसे approach करना है? Because after covering each and every topic, I just say a statement that, for example, UPSC tricks you in such a way. So I focused on developing that approach, the mindset which is used for UPSC Prelims. I cleared my UPSC Prelims. I scored 18 marks above cutoff, 18 marks above cutoff by following this approach. Okay, so you can apply this approach. You can follow these techniques in this course. And I already informed you about all these topics. You can pause the video, look at these. We are going to cover. These are just the super surface वाली बातें लिखी हैं यहाँ पे. I have tried. We as at Kalam IAS have tried to make this entire course for geography and environment as comprehensive as possible for you, so that I will again say, nobody should use the word 100%. Most of the part of your syllabus for prelims approach you are going to develop after completing this course, and it is going to be beneficial for you. This is what I believe personally. This is the information which I have used it for myself also. These techniques I used for myself also, and it worked. It not just once, it worked 2 to 3 times. Okay, and I cleared a state PCS prelims also by this UPSC prelims also twice with this approach. Okay, and all these details you can see much more detail than this. Do the cost benefit analysis, keep focusing on previous year questions, and you can actually refer to this course. You can watch the demo video, and all the very best for your prelims. Thank you so much. Okay, thank you.